Sukhmani Sahib English translation. Gauri Sukhmani Mahalla Panjwa Shlok. One universal creator God, by the grace of the true Guru, I bow to the primal Guru, I bow to the Guru of the ages, I bow to the true Guru, I bow to the great divine Guru, Ashtpadee. Meditate, meditate, meditate in remembrance of him and find peace. Worry and anguish shall be dispelled from your body. Remember in praise the one who pervades the whole universe. His name is chanted by countless people in so many ways. The Vedas, the Puranas, the Simritis, the purest of utterances, were created from the one word of the name of the Lord, that one in whose soul the one Lord dwells. The praises of his glory cannot be recounted. Those who yearn only for the blessings of your darshan, Nanak, save me along with them. Sukhmani, peace of mind, the nectar of the name of God. The minds of devotees abide in a joyful peace. Remembering God, one does not have to enter into the womb again. Remembering God, the pain of death is dispelled. Remembering God, death is eliminated. Remembering God, one's enemies are repelled. Remembering God, no obstacles are met. Remembering God, one remains awake and aware night and day. Remembering God, one is not touched by fear. Remembering God, one does not suffer sorrow. The meditative remembrance of God is in the company of the holy. All treasures, O Nanak, are in the love of the Lord. In the remembrance of God are wealth, miraculous spiritual powers, and the 9 treasures. In the remembrance of God are knowledge, meditation, and the essence of wisdom. In the remembrance of God are chanting, intense meditation, and devotional worship. In the remembrance of God, duality is removed. In the remembrance of God are purifying baths at sacred shrine of pilgrimage. In the remembrance of God, one attains honor in the court of the Lord. In the remembrance of God, one becomes good. In the remembrance of God, one flowers in fruition. They alone remember him in meditation, whom he inspires to meditate. Nanak grasps the feet of those humble beings. The remembrance of God is the highest and the most exalted of all. In the remembrance of God, many are saved. In the remembrance of God, thirst is quenched. In the remembrance of God, all things are known. In the remembrance of God, there is no fear of death. In the remembrance of God, hopes are fulfilled. In the remembrance of God, the filth of the mind is removed. The ambrosial Naam, the name of the Lord, is absorbed into the heart. God abides upon the tongue of his saints. Nanak is the servant of the slave of his slaves. Those who remember God are wealthy. Those who remember God are honorable. Those who remember God are approved. Those who remember God are most distinguished persons. Those who remember God are not lacking. Those who remember God are the rulers of all. Those who remember God dwell in peace. Those who remember God are immortal and eternal. They alone hold to remembrance of him unto whom he himself shows his mercy. Nanak begs for the dust of their feet. Those who remember God generously help others. Those who remember God, to them I am forever a sacrifice. Those who remember God, their faces are beautiful. Those who remember God abides in peace. Those who remember God conquer their souls. Those who remember God have a pure and spotless lifestyle. Those who remember God experience all sorts of joys. Those who remember God abide near the Lord. By the grace of the saint, one remains awake and aware night and day. O Nanak, this meditative remembrance comes only by perfect destiny. Remembering God, one's works are accomplished. Remembering God, one never grieves. Remembering God, one speaks the glorious praises of the Lord. Remembering God, one is absorbed into the state of intuitive ease. Remembering God, one attains the unchanging position. Remembering God, the heart lotus blossoms forth. Remembering God, the unstruck melody vibrates. The peace of the meditative remembrance of God has no end or limitation. They alone remember him upon whom God bestows his grace. Nanak seeks the sanctuary of those humble beings. Remembering the Lord, his devotees are famous and radiant. Remembering the Lord, the Vedas were composed. Remembering the Lord, we become siddhas, celibates, and givers. Remembering the Lord, the lowly become known in four directions. For the remembrance of the Lord, the whole world was established. Remember in meditation the Lord, the Creator, the cause of causes. For the remembrance of the Lord, he created the whole creation. In the remembrance of the Lord, he himself is formless. By his grace, he himself bestows understanding. O Nanak, the Gurmukh attains the remembrance of the Lord.